Now, folks, take a good look at this. That right there is water, running through my whole garden, and it ain't costing me one single penny. See, the water company's got you paying good money for something that falls right out of the sky for free every time it rains, and most of it, it just runs off your roof, down the drain, and you never see it again. Well, not on this homestead. Today I'm gonna show you how to catch that free rain, send it straight to your garden with no pump and no power, and stick with me clear to the end 'cause that last part, the little skeeter trick, that's the one nobody ever tells you. Get that wrong and you'll regret the whole thing. Get it right and you're golden. All right, let me tell you what we're building today, start to finish. 3 pieces, that's it. First, we catch the rain in a barrel off your gutter. Second, we run a little gravity line out to the garden so it waters itself, no electric, no pump, nothing to plug in. And third, the part that'll save your hide, we make sure that barrel never turns into a mosquito nursery. 'Cause I'll be honest with you, folks, a fella down the road built himself a rain barrel one summer, and by July his backyard had more skeeters than a swamp. He did everything right but that one thing. We ain't making that mistake. Now, I call this the $0 setup, and I mean it. Near every piece of this you can scrounge for free if you know where to look. I'll show you where. Let's get to it. First thing you need is your barrel. Now you can go buy a fancy rain barrel at the garden store for $100 some, but don't you do it. That's money down the drain. Here's where the smart folks get 'em for nothing. You want a food-grade 55-gallon drum, the kind that holds syrup or olives or soap. Call up a car wash, a bottling plant, a little food maker in your town. Half the time they're paying to get rid of 'em. I got this one for a handshake and a dozen eggs. One rule though, food grade only. You don't want a barrel that had chemicals or oil in it anywhere near your tomatoes. If you don't know what was in it, walk away. A clean trash can with a tight lid'll do in a pinch too. Give her a good rinse soap and water, rinse it twice, let it air out a day if it had something strong in it. Now here's the piece most folks miss, and it matters more than anything I'll say today. Where you set this barrel. You do not set it flat on the ground. You set it up high on cinder blocks, an old pallet stack, a sturdy stand. Mine's sitting about 2 foot off the ground. Why's that matter? I'll tell you in a minute, and it's the difference between water that dribbles out and water that actually flows. Hang tight. All right, now we gotta get the rain off your roof and into the barrel, and there's more water coming than you'd believe, folks. Let me put a number on it. 1 inch of rain on a roof the size of a regular house. That's over 1,000 gallons. 1,000 gallons from one little rain. Most of it just runs off into the street. So you take your downspout, that's the pipe that carries water down off your gutter, and you cut it so it empties right over the top of your barrel. They make a little gizmo called a downspout diverter for a few dollars that does it real clean, but a fella can just cut the pipe and aim it. Either way works. Now this little scrap right here, old window screen, costs you nothing. This is your first line of defense, and it does 2 jobs at once. You stretch it tight over the top where the water comes in. 1, it keeps leaves and gunk and roof grit out of your water. And 2, it stops a mama mosquito from ever getting in there to lay her eggs in the first place. No standing water she can reach, no babies. Simple as that. But that's only part of the skeeter plan. The big secret's still coming. One more thing, cut yourself an overflow hole up near the top and run a little hose from it away from your house. 'Cause when she fills up, she's gonna spill, and you don't want all that water pooling against your foundation. Send it off to the lawn instead. Now here's where it all comes together, and here's why I had you set that barrel up high. Down near the bottom we put in a spigot, a little faucet. They sell a bulkhead fitting for a couple dollars. You drill a hole, screw it in, snug it up. Now you got a tap on your barrel. So remember I told you to raise the barrel up? Here's the why. Water's got weight and water wants to fall. Every foot you lift that barrel up gives you about a ½ pound of push behind it. That's your pressure. Set the barrel on the ground and the water just sort of dribbles. Set it up 2-3 foot high and now she's got some get up behind her. That's your pump, folks, gravity. Free, and it never breaks down. From the spigot you run a plain old garden hose out to your beds. And at the end, you hook on a soaker hose. That's a hose that weeps water out all along its length. real slow and gentle, right at the roots where the plant wants it. Don't even own a soaker hose? Take an old leaky garden hose, cap the far end, and poke little holes in it every foot or so with a nail. Lay it down your rows. Same thing. That's the homesteader special free. Now you crack that spigot open, and gravity does the rest. Water creeps out nice and slow, soaks deep down to the roots, which is exactly what your plants want. None of that splash in the leaves. You can put a little timer valve on there if you like, but honestly, I just open her a turn in the morning and let her run while I have my coffee. Waters itself. Ain't that something? Couple honest words before we wrap, 'cause I'll always shoot you straight. One, this rainwater's wonderful for your garden, your flowers, your lawn. But don't go drinking it. It's run off your roof, and a roof ain't clean. Garden water only. Two, if your roof's the regular asphalt shingle kind, that water's just fine for watering near about anything in the garden. If you're real particular, water the roots of your veggies, instead of soaking the leaves you're fixin' to eat raw, and you'll never think twice. Three, when winter comes and it's fixin' to freeze hard, drain that barrel and that spigot out. Water freezes, it swells, and it'll crack your barrel right open. Drain her down, you'll get years out of it. And four, once you see how easy this is, you're gonna want more water. So link 2 or 3 barrels together with a little hose down low, and now you're sitting on a couple 100 gallons of free water, just waiting on the next rain. So there she is, folks. A free barrel off your gutter, raised up so gravity gives you the push, a screen and a little dunk so the skeeters never stand a chance, and a slow soaker line that waters your whole garden while you sit on the porch. Free water, falling out of the sky, growing your supper, and the water company can keep their bill. That's the homesteader way. That's how the old folks did it, long before anybody thought to charge you for rain. Now, if this helped you out, do me a kindness and hit that like button. It helps these old tricks reach more good folks. And subscribe, because next time I'm going to show you how I keep my whole garden fed all season for about $6. No store-bought fertilizer at all. Till then, take care of your land, and it'll take care of you. We'll see you next time.